looks like we got some people in. I'm just getting set up here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me know if my levels sound good. Looks like my main microphone's a little bit low. Down a bit. Alright. Yeah, do my levels sound even? Let's see. We have Grant, Juan, and Diego. Some regulars here. Very. This will start probably in about 5 minutes. Sorry, this is a little bit later than I wanted it to be. I worked a little bit later than I wanted to today, but that's okay. I might have needed the extra $12, so yeah, I rushed as fast to get it home as fast as possible and to shower and eat and all that fun stuff. Grant says my volume's perfect, excellent. That's exactly what I want to hear. I spent about 10 minutes trying to make sure my microphone was positioned to be about as perfect as I wanted it to be. Okay, so let me just send the links out to a few people, and I'll try to get started proper in about 5 minutes. But I was teetering about today whether I wanted to do Resident Evil 3 or Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. I think ultimately I'm more in the mood for Aria of Sorrow. I'll try very hard to do Resident Evil 3 on Thursday. I've been playing this a lot in the past week or two, just recording footage of it for 2 unrelated videos. And I thought, you know, I like to play Castlevania and Resident Evil games around Halloween, and this game has been very underrepresented on my channel, which is crazy because it's one of my favorite Castlevanias. Okay, so let me throw the link out to one more person. I'm gonna get a few drinks to tide me over, and then we'll get started. And I'll let you guys dictate what path I should take in the game. Just hang on. Give me probably less than 2 minutes. Oh no, the program froze. Okay, now it's unfrozen. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm about to get started soon. Let me go text one person. Okay. I think unfortunately my microphone was on for all that, but whatever. This that Juan says, or I'm meant to read that first. Juan is asking something about Konami cards. Castlevania is referenced in a few Konami cards. One is, I think they reference Vampire Killer in one of them. Grant says that he hasn't had the chance to watch or play scary movies the last few years because he's too focused on work or theater. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I get it because I seem to work more every October. October is such a busy month for me. Hopefully this fills that void. I mean, I haven't celebrated Halloween proper in years. I'm usually working at least 12 hours every Halloween. One year I went to school and then immediately went to work on Halloween for 12 hours, and that was bullshit. So making these videos has been an attempt to fill that void. Past 5 years, making the videos, and in this case the streams. So I want to do a few this month. Today, I'm not going to do one next Sunday. I'm going to try to do one more this week, and we'll see how it plays out. I've already started a new job, and I'm putting in about 50 hours weekly now, so it's a bit much. Diego says that it's the perfect time to play some good old classic horror games. Yes, or to watch somebody play them. So without further ado, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, the third and final installment of the series on Game Boy Advance. This game is a very distant sequel, as most Castlevania games take place in Middle Age times, but this game takes place in the 2030s. So this is, we're playing on Wii U Virtual Console, rather. I've completed a save file, and I want you guys to decide what you would like me to do today. Now, I could either do a new game plus, where I have the main character Soma powered up with weapons and equipment from my previous run, and do a new save file on that. I could do a new file fresh, which I'm not sure if I want to do that, because I've already done 2 runs of the game recently. If you guys want me to do that, I'll do that. That's fine. I'm not too crazy about that myself. There's also boss rush mode, and there's Julius mode, where you can play Belmont, who is a supporting character in the game. This is the first game to introduce him. So I'm really getting tired of that title screen looping a million times. What would you guys like me to do? New game plus, Julius mode, or boss rush. I'll wait till we get some votes in. Juan said that he read horror anime for Halloween. That's cool. What was it? Was it one of those really screwed up mangas by that one guy whose name I can't remember off the top of my head? But my buddy Chris Pierce made a good video about horror manga. Look up Comic Tropes horror manga. Very freaky stuff. I don't think it's scary, but it's definitely freaky and grotesque, and made my stomach turn a little bit. Okay, guys, how am I going to play Aria of Sorrow for the next roughly 2 hours? Junji Ito, thank you, Grant. Diego says, let's see the boss rush. We have any other requests? We got 1 vote. We're a representative democracy. So, I guess in that stance, we're kind of anti-American. But we're a representative democracy here. We'll take the votes. We'll take the popular vote. So, boss rush, what else? Grant, Juan, 4th or 5th person who's being quiet. Place your votes. Place your bets. Let's see here. Got any response? New game plus. I mean, how about we do new game plus now, and then we'll try to do boss rush later. I want to be on for. I want to give you guys 2 hours tonight, and I mean 2 hours starting now. Okay, so the story. I'm really getting tired of the title screen looping. The main character, Soma Cruz, is a high school student, and while studying in Japan, he gets trapped in a solar eclipse, which contains Dracula's castle. And he goes on a very crazy adventure from here and learns about his mysterious powers. So, I'm not sure how much I want to go on to the story, because this game's story is a little bit silly. But, I mean, all of a sudden, Soma gets transported to Dracula's castle. Right here, Soma says himself, "Inside the eclipse? You're insane. Do you think I'm a fool?" Juan says that he was watching Hellsing in the anime club. Okay. And there, Soma absorbs the power of the winged skeleton. He learns that he has the power of dominance to absorb the souls of monsters. So in other Castlevania games, your sub-weapons and your powers, they might be a power-up, or you might find them in a candelabra. But in Aria of Sorrow, like the winged skeleton, for instance, he absorbs that, and that becomes... that becomes Soma's sub-weapon, the spear, as you can see there. Now, the New Game Plus takes away the abilities, but it keeps my souls from my previous file. So, like, for instance, in other Castlevania games, if you want to use an axe sub-weapon, you would look for the axe and the candelabra, but here you would absorb the axe armor enemy, and then you get that as your sub-weapon. And as you can see here, I equipped Soma with the handgun as his main weapon in my previous file. I think this is the first Castlevania game to actually use firearms. And I just equipped it because I thought it was so funny. But my favorite weapon in the game is the whip sword, which there's only one of in the castle, I believe. I got that in my previous run. That's not Soma's default weapon. Soma's default weapon is actually a really crappy pocket knife. I think the first decent weapon you start off with is the sword. But Soma can be equipped with all kinds of melee weapons. So, good weapon to use. I like the flame sword. Where's that? Leviathan. There we go. Diego says he thought Japan had enough problems with Godzilla. Now Dracula. Grant says that he might watch Wicked City or Violence Jack before bed this week. Sweet nightmares to you, Grant. Okay. And much like, this is a Metroidvania Castlevania, much like Symphony of the Night or Circle of the Moon, this is an action RPG, Super Metroid type adventure game, where you upgrade your character throughout the game, but in the Castlevania ones, you have stats, unlike Metroid. The stats are more like an RPG game. And, you know, besides fighting enemies, the emphasis is on solving puzzles and exploring. So there we got the Gravekeeper Soul. Crap. Which lets Soma backdash. I don't really feel compelled to save there. Now, I believe Soma starts off level 1 with the 320 HP. That's not from my previous save file. My souls, except for ability souls and my equipment, are from previous save files. Sorry. I don't think I said that right. So you have three types of souls. There's red souls, which are your sub-weapons. Blue souls are your guardian souls. And then I forget what the yellow souls are called, but those affect your stats. So the Shadow Knight, for instance, is my guardian soul, and that's mapped to the R button. So that becomes a familiar that attacks every time I attack. Or another guardian soul would be Death, which you get from the Death, the Grim Reaper, which summons a bunch of sickles everywhere. Although Dream's my MP, so I might want to do something else. Punches enemies, Cognazo. So I'm gonna equip the Minotaur, because that's gonna increase my attack power. And then what will my sub weapon be? The beam's funny, but that does a lot of damage, so I just waste a bunch of MP. Grant says that he's not the biggest indie game fan, but Hollow Knight is a really solid Metroidvania, and he's been enjoying it. You know, indie games, they're not necessarily bad or good. They just, I mean, they just have less resources. I mean, if it's good, it'll be good. Mr. Top 10 list, I'm so happy to see you here. Minotaur beam. The beam actually came from the beam skeleton. And here's the first main boss. I believe this is called the Creaking Skull. Yeah, I was right. And he's going to go down because I have a bunch of broken weapons and souls. The fight should not be that easy. Oh, he said Ora Ora, so there's your JoJo reference. Okay. There's your JoJo reference. I didn't mean to do that, beam. Yeah, there's your JoJo reference, Juan. Diego says, let's imagine how Castlevania would be if Simon had a handgun in his game. Okay, I'll use my handgun now, because it's just funny to me. It's like we're, as one of my friends who posts by the name Hulk versus Thor movie would say, we've gone full gangsta now, or possibly my brother as well. So level up, pretty nice. And the game shouldn't be this much of a cakewalk, but darn it, I'm just trying to have some fun. I wonder if I get if I still have the Black Panther soul as a guardian. Nah, that would be too broken. Diego says, is that a JoJo reference? Could be. Might be. I wouldn't doubt it. JoJo's is pretty popular. Juan says, was Gangsta's Paradise. Very much. Dracula's Castle is a Gangsta's Paradise. And then here we get Flying Armor. This is a very vital soul for the early portions of the game. This is a Guardian soul that makes your jump descent slow down, which will make it so that you can go to certain places. I could actually get up to that portion right there because of a glitch, but it's a bit tricky. So I don't know if I want to waste my time doing that. Let's just try to get through this this darn fish here. There we go. Take that, you bastard. Mr. Top 10 list says that he only won his school's cakewalk once. That's a very interesting charity event. Grant says, I feel the whole idea of an indie game is that it should be free from the restrictions of a AAA game. But most of the times they emulate genres that already left a mark. That can be a problem. I mean, what was it? I think somebody in one of these chats said that Shovel Knight was their favorite game. Or, I'm not sure what it was. But my problem with Shovel Knight's good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's easily. I hate numbers, of course, but that's easily like a 8 out of 10 game or 9 out of 10, and I find it respectable if somebody says that's their favorite video game. I have no issues with Shovel Knight, but at the same time, Shovel Knight is derivative of many other games, so it doesn't really bring anything new. As much as I like the game, I feel like I'm gonna get possibly in trouble for saying that, but I don't know how you could argue against that. Let's see, the zombies. I already have the zombie soldier soul from my. But the sub-weapon he gives you is a grenade as a sub-weapon. So, Soma has a lot of really cool weapons in his arsenal. I don't think this makes him necessarily better or worse than other Castlevania protagonists, but I think it's interesting. That he has some cool melee weapons, and firearms and explosives. So what would be a good neutral fighting weapon? This spear is nuts. It does a lot of damage. Terrible startup time, but it should plow through a lot of stuff. And guys, just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you were to like the stream. Hit the like button, please. If you're new here, I don't know if anybody here is new. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Grant says, I'm with you on being that Shovel Knight's the first good Kickstarter game, but people elevate it a bit too much. Yeah. I have a personal policy, I'm kind of breaking it now, to never talk about Mighty Number 9. But, you know, Mighty Number 9 and that ukulele bullshit, those games are derivative. Even Bloodstained, which I don't... has that even been released yet? It seems to keep getting delayed, and I want to have good hopes for Bloodstained, but I don't know. Ukulele and fake Mega Man, who should not be named, their fallings is in that they're, at least from what I see, because I've yet to play Ukulele, but Mighty Number 9, that was bull. Do not like talking about that game. It doesn't exist. Those games were entirely derivative. And they were just, I mean, I could just play Banjo-Kazooie or Mega Man 2 instead of playing those games. With all the money dumped into the Kickstarter, they had nothing to show for it. In either case. I mean, that's really all I want to say. I don't like talking about those. So what's my objective here? The blue areas are the parts I've explored. The gray areas are where I explored in my previous run. Juan said something about Star, Butterfly, Elena, and Goliath. I guess that would be going with my friend Elena's Disney versus Capcom idea. Is that why you're putting those words together? Or is there an Elena Disney character? I'm not sure about that. In any case, she did mention that she wanted to see Star Butterfly as a playable character. Diego says that Shovel Knight has left an impressive impact, and Shovel Knight's appeared in other games. Was Shovel Knight... I believe Shovel Knight was a favorite to appear in Smash Brothers. Was he an assist trophy? I'm not keeping on top of Ultimate a whole lot, because I want to be surprised a little bit when that comes out. Grant says, I understand making something derivative of something you don't get anymore, like a collector-thon. I was never too crazy about those kind of games. I mostly think the Mario 3D games did that the best, and other companies and teams never really understood what made Mario 64 work. In fact, I'd have to think hard to think about what made Mario 64 work. That's a video that's been in the backlog and through several drafts. Can't commit to it anytime soon. Shovel Knight was a trophy. Striker. I don't... Striker from Mortal Kombat? Oh, hello there. Hello, you're human, aren't you? Relax, my name is Grant. Let's say I'm a missionary. Let's see, you're Selma, we know that. So, Selma talks about how absurd it is that, I mean, he's just here all of a sudden. And then he wants to know, you know, just tell me the truth. Am I really in Dracula's castle? And then Selma's just saying, well, you know, honestly, I thought Dracula was made up, fake, pretend, make-believe. So yeah, right there. But Graham just says, no, it's all true. But we learn that Dracula died in 1999. Somehow this ties into Nostradamus' great prophecy, in which Dracula dies for real. Castlevania is sealed inside of I was about to say apocalypse, inside an eclipse by the vampire hunter Julius Belmont. But now Julius is a wandering amnesiac. Kind of like the first episode of Season 2 of Big O, Roger the Wanderer. Grant said that the main character, I think he means Soma, got a mink fur coat and he looks like Lucille from Arrested Development. I didn't think we'd be talking about Arrested Development and Castlevania in the same stream, but here we go. Arrested Development seems to come up very often. Very cool. I still have not seen Season 5 of Arrested Development. Alright, I'm actually pretty close to another boss. Now, as much as I like this game, I will criticize it in one place here. So I just entered a section called the Chapel. You can tell sections by the different music they have, but it doesn't mention where each section is on the map. So you really have to refer to a map online if you're looking for specific hidden items and what have you. So that's a bit frustrating. But I think what makes this game very replayable for me, besides how cool the soul system is, and I mean the new game plus mode is neat. It's not challenging, but it is neat. The direction of the castle, the sense of direction, the navigation, the design of the castle, I think is the best of the Game Boy Advance Castlevanias. Circle of the Moon was a good launch title, don't get me wrong, but I don't like the level design in that game very much. And Harmony, it's a little bit better, but this game, I think it's about as perfect as it could have been at the time. Grant said there was no reason for Arrested Development Season 5, period. I have mixed feelings about Season 4. Oh, I see. You're disowning Season 4, okay. I have mixed feelings about Season 4. Some of my friends told me that Season 5 was really bad. Yeah, show revivals can be a tricky thing. I wasn't too big about the Family Guy revival initially, and then I think it just became a pretty reprehensible show. I thought the Futurama revival sucked. The people who seem to support it seem to be really diehard Futurama fans, and sorry I can't see eye to eye with you guys. What were some other revivals that weren't too hot? You know, I thought the Beavis and Butthead revival showed promise, and it's too bad that I guess it was a failure because they never made any more. I don't know if that has to do with ratings or MTV sucking. That was pretty funny, I thought. Grant says, Season 4 was trash. Same episode, different people's perspectives, same jokes here and here. From what I remember, I thought the stuff with the Method 1 clinic was kind of funny. I appreciate the Fantastic Four references, because I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. Don't tell anybody about that. That seems to be a weird thing to admit these days. But, I thought the finale was kind of lackluster. Maybe they just took too long to make it. Maybe Arrested Development didn't need a Season 4. I'm not sure. It's one of those conundrums where you want to see something back, you get disappointed when it gets canceled, and then when it comes back, you say to yourself, "Did I really need this?" I'm not sure. Mr. Top 10 List says, I don't understand why people are angry that Futurama was canceled the second time. It was not good revived. I mean, I feel like Comedy Central will drop any show that's not South Park or The Daily Show. But I understand that the ratings just didn't justify making any more. I mean, I swear, one time I turned on Comedy Central, and it was an 8-hour Office marathon, and then South Park and the Daily Show, and then the rest of the night it was something else. It was some kind of syndicated programming. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that 70s show, which is a pretty big guilty pleasure for me, honestly. And then infomercials for a few hours. Mr. Top 10 List says the Family Guy revival was justified until the season that started with the Star Wars parody. I think that's when I lost interest too. Season 4 was kind of shaky for me, but I thought season 5 is when it started to get pretty bad. I actually rewatched the first 4 seasons of Family Guy recently, and I'm highly considering doing a write-up on it. But yeah, at some point, I think Family Guy just got really vile. Okay, I'm gonna stop stalling and fight the boss now. And what soul should I use? Shadow Knight might be good. I think just 2 more hits. Yeah, that's it. Diego says The Simpsons is one of those shows that needs to go a long time ago. I have conversations with people trying to figure out when do you think is kind of the breaking point to you for The Simpsons. One of my older buddies said that he thinks season 8's a breaking point. And that's kind of nutty to me because there's some moments in season 8 that I really like, but I don't know if I could fault somebody for thinking that way. Well, I try not to fault people unless they're being bigots. Mr. Top 10 List says, Family Guy has one writer that I think is me since they always have 1 or 2 jokes that I would make. So current Family Guy is better than early 2010s Family Guy. Okay, so I beat the Manticore. Now, what's the next soul I need to get? I think it's going to be a double jump. Yeah, I can't go over there yet. Okay, I think we get the double jump from the next area. Juan says, which revived? I don't know what you're talking about. Level 7, not too bad. And then that's much weaker than the weapon I'm using now. Diego says, from what I know, a lot of people say it was after the episode that Principal Skinner was an imposter. Mr. Top 10 List and myself have a video about that concept. If you want to type in Mr. Top 10 List imposter, I'll plug that. I'll plug anything in. I've rewatched that episode recently, a few months ago, for the sake of that video. And something that I've had with a conversation of a friend of mine, she pointed out that an issue with that episode is that beyond the fact that it's lame to have a character reveal that they're not who they say they are, unless there's some kind of build up to it. You know what I mean? The problem is, in the context of that episode, is that it's out of left field. But if you listen to the I think I lost my train of thought. Yeah, one episode with that, one issue with that episode is that way too much exposition. I think Act 1 is all just plot. But the writers and the creative people, what's his name? Ken Keeler, who wrote the episode, he says that it's the best thing he wrote for television, which I hope he's trolling. You know how those Simpsons writers like to troll. Those slick bastards. But his impetus for writing that was based on stories of people coming back from war. Yes, coffee is a healing item, but ew, it's decaffeinated. Need that uncursed potion. Curse sucks because you can't use magic power. Okay, what was I saying? So Ken Keeler said that his idea for the episode came from stories of people coming back from war and revealing that they're imposters. They're not who they say they were. They were not. They were pretending to be a soldier to get, or people impersonating soldiers. People who came back from war to get free meals and food, and that's crazy to me. So I might kind of understand that. It's still not a very good episode. I don't think it's the absolute worst episode of The Simpsons, but I could see how it could be a breaking point for some people. But thankfully, according to the judge at the end of the episode, we're not allowed to talk about it, actually, under penalty of torture. So maybe we should just stop talking about it. What kind of torture? Alright, now we're going to meet Yoko. Not Yoko Ono. Yoko Belnades, which, if you're up to date on your Castlevania lore, that means that she's the descendant of Sypha from Castlevania 3. And she's a member of the Catholic Church, working with Adicado, who, it's Alucard. Let's just be real here. See, she even blows his cover right there. It's a pretty lame disguise. I'm not going to get bitchy about spoilers. Hopefully you don't either. Juan says top 10 green characters. Which green Power Ranger? Tommy from Power Rangers. Well, he may seem cold at first, but he's actually quite a decent guy. And so, I mean, Alucard call it the power of dominance, and that doesn't sound dark to Soma. Okay. So he can rule over monsters. But just because it's a dark power don't mean it's evil. Except for him to decide whether it's good or evil. Well, I feel a little bit better, but I don't know. So now she gives us a hint that Graham might be a bad guy. No way. He didn't look like a bad guy. Well, somebody doesn't look evil. They probably secretly are. Mr. Top 10 List says Green Power Ranger is only wearing green. He's not naturally green, so he doesn't count. They need to be genetically green. So Juan is mentioning some good green ones. Piccolo, Sailor Jupiter, Hulk. How could I forget Gold? Deku, Caterpie, and Metapod. Very interesting. I wouldn't have thought of some of those immediately. Caterpie from Dragon Ball. Was he green? I honestly don't remember. I remember what he looks like, but I don't remember his color. I think I might be becoming colorblind as I get older. Or at least my perception of color seems to be changing. Because there seems to be a lot of situations I'm getting into recently where I'm just asking myself, is this that color? Really? I thought it was that color. Like, recently I learned that one of my friends was blonde, and that surprised me because I was always registering her hair a different way. Actually, I think that's the third time this has happened that year. Seeing somebody is watching on my Discord and is asking me a question on Discord. Will you do a video about Samurai Champloo? Not immediately. It's not in my list of plans. There's the whip sword. I'll equip it even though I already have it. But this is one of my favorite weapons. Unfortunately, really bad startup time. Good range. So it's good when you're backtracking. It's good here because I'm powered up. So I think I have what I need, and I'm ready to face the boss, and I believe the soul the boss gives us will allow us to double jump. Juan says Caterpie from Pokemon. I know what you meant. I'm joking. Mr. Top 10 List says specific rules are how he thinks of some of his choices. Yeah, Diego, I don't know if you've seen the imposter video that we spoke of, but I was involved in that. I had a lot of fun with that. So now we meet Hammer, no relation to MC Hammer. Could be. And he runs... Oh, yeah, goddamn yawning. He runs the shop of the game. So after the third boss, you're finally able to go to the shop. The shop is at the castle's entrance, which is where Mina, Soma's friend, is. And you can buy some stuff from him. And I believe this also introduces the nearest warp point. So you can easily warp back to the shop if backtracking all that way. I'm going to skip all this dialogue. All you need to know is that he's a retired army guy. And for some reason, he's setting up a shop in Dracula's castle. And I'm pretty sure that's either the push block soul or the double jump soul. Double jump, okay. Uncle Waluigi says, ooh, Castlevania. Good to see you, Uncle Waluigi. I wasn't sure if you'd make it. I thought maybe you wouldn't because tonight's a school night. Ooh, that's bad. So I believe... Actually, is there a false wall in that room? Ooh, Castlevania. Other green characters, Kermit the Frog. Was there a false wall in here? I have a feeling. No, okay. Uncle Waluigi typing ooh Castlevania like that makes me think of one video. I can't remember which one. But Judgment Meter, mutual friend between me and Mr. Top 10 List. She says, ooh, uncensored Exodia. So, that came to my mind. Oops, I accidentally turned my sound on. Gotta mute that. Otherwise, we'll get some regression, and that's not good. I'm assuming Grant left because he stopped talking. If not, I apologize, Grant. Yeah, Uncle Waluigi. I don't know if you have any experience with Aria of Sorrow, but this is my favorite of the Game Boy Advance games. So what are some other green characters? Green Koopa Troopa? I can't slide yet, so I can't go over there. The part where I couldn't go earlier, we're going to use the double jump to do that. Diego says, have you seen Panty and Stocking? I've seen the first few episodes, and it was disgusting, but it was kind of funny. The dub was one of those dubs where Funimation went to town, and I think it actually helped the show, even though it's not entirely faithful to the intro. Some of the language was interesting. I thought the art was kind of neat. Koalogy said Yoshi, of course, it's so obvious, and yet I didn't think about it. So we're gonna need to... Is that all there is? Just a sword there? That's not terribly interesting. I guess I could sell it, though. Or maybe go over there first. Hey guys, hopefully the stream is looking consistent on your end. Because I'm getting my bars here are going up and down. Hopefully it's looking nice and consistent. If not, I'll be real mad. I'll be mildly annoyed. Heart pendant, okay. We don't need that per se. That increases luck barely. Yeah, I'm assuming Grant's gone. Otherwise, he might have said something. Or maybe he's secretly spying and not responding. So I gotta be vigilant. Juan says Green Mario and Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone is a place, not a person. Blanca is also green. Another obvious one that I just couldn't think of. So guys, Jet the Hawk, another not so obvious one. I'd probably have to go a little bit far into the recesses of my brain to think about that. So guys, I'm curious, what are your experiences with Castlevania Aria of Sorrow? How many of you guys have played this game? Did you enjoy it? If not, why? If you did enjoy it, why did you enjoy it? Curious. Being the Dynamite. Juan said that I got rude. I don't think I was that rude today. If I was, I apologize. I don't think I'm that rude. Uncle Waluigi has not played it yet. So we can go here and get the hammer. I'm probably going to sell that. I don't like that weapon. And I think that's all I'm going to get out of the study. How about you, Diego? Have you played this game? So now double jump opens up some interesting places we can go to, especially with the flying armor. Diego says that he hasn't seen it yet, but he's interested in trying it. Well, I forget what country you're in. I know you're in Central America, right? Are you? Was it Guatemala or Honduras? I'm so sorry that I can't remember for the life of me. I think you might have the same region coding there as we do in the US for Wii U Virtual Console. I'm playing this on my Wii U Virtual Console, so you could buy it there. If you want to get it physically, the game is pretty goddamn expensive, honestly. I found a used loose copy on eBay earlier. I didn't buy it. I'm just letting you know, but it was $117 US for this game. So a cheaper alternative. I don't know how much it costs. I hope it's not too much, but I mean it is a discontinued Game Boy Advance game. On Game Boy Advance, there's a cartridge called the Castlevania Double Pack, which contains Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance and Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. And that's how I own the game on my Game Boy Advance. So I would highly recommend searching that down if you want to own the game. Mr. Top 10 List says, I can't think of detectives in fighting games aside from Batman or Phoenix Wright. Yeah, Phoenix Wright's weird in that he's officially a lawyer, but in practice, he's basically an amateur detective. Here we go. Here's the war point. I mean, in Ace Attorney 4, he's basically a private investigator in that game. He's basically a disgraced lawyer slash private investigator, poker player, piano player, private investigator in that game. I really like the way he was characterized in that game, even though a lot of people hate it and think it was a betrayal of his character. I thought it was really interesting. It was also kind of sad to see Phoenix go through a major downfall. He rebounds, but it takes him 7 fucking years. Uncle Waluigi says, does Q from Street Fighter 3 count? I don't know, because we don't know anything about Q. That's the entire point of the character. I went all the way back to show you guys Hammer's shop. Percy. Diego says, it might be hard to get a physical copy, but I might get it on the Wii U. If you could download it, I highly recommend it. Hope you get to play it. It's my favorite handheld Castlevania. Easily. So, if anybody from Konami's listening to the stream, thank you. I mean, no, not thank you. You're welcome for the sale I just gave you. So, what can I sell? I think that might be the only coffee in the entire game. Anything redundant. I don't need 2 axes. What would I need 2 axes? I don't need 2 rapiers. I don't even need 1 rapier. It's not a good weapon. Don't like the cut tail. The trident's pretty cool. I don't want to get rid of that. Then I don't need 5 tunics. I don't need any tunics. They're worthless. Leather plate. Don't need 1 leather plate. I should probably get rid of both of them. Don't need 2 heart pennants either. Oh, I should probably equip the gold ring. Uncle Waluigi says that Q is based on a detective, robot detective K, if that's anything to go off on. Mr. Top 10 List says that he count him on that front. People get angry for using technicalities for the sake of an entry that he thinks would be cool. Lucky Charm. Doesn't this increase luck? Yeah, increases luck a little bit. If you don't understand how luck works as a stat, it increases your chances of getting money or item drops or soul drops. In some games, like in Earthbound, that's your evasion stat. But here, like money drops, there's a chance that it could be more than just $1. Sometimes it could be 10. If my luck is higher, it could be $10, like right there, or possibly higher. Yeah. So now that I can double jump, I've already explored. Well, I haven't explored 89% of the castle in this run, but I can go to some new places. Uncle Waluigi says he consider it cool considering Q's his favorite Street Fighter character. I mean, I think it would be better if you were to do top 10 mysterious characters and that their entire existence is an enigma. Let's see. Somebody in Discord just said that the picture quality is bad. Is it really? I mean, it's looking really good on my preview window here. Not really good. It's looking pretty gosh darn decent. Diego says, does G in Street Fighter 5 count as a reference to Q? I don't own Street Fighter 5. I don't have an opinion. Sorry for being vague. Would you guys like me to find the nearest save point and possibly do boss rush or Julius mode? Or do you want me to keep exploring this new game plus here? It was either here or... No, I think it's actually in the castle corridor, which is the first area of the game. Let me see. I think I need the Medusa head to stop my jump in midair. Jump once, and then jump again. This is a sequence break, by the way, if I were to actually pull it off, but the timing's really tricky. I might not be able to do it. Let's try the flying armor and see if that works. This is very tricky to do. I have done it before, but it's not easy. Nah, I think it might be a bust. Tasty meat. I think that's the only tasty meat in the game. Juan says top 10 blue characters. Sailor Mercury, a good one. Sonic the Hedgehog. Bubble Man. Elemental Hero Bubble Man. I thought you meant Bubble Man from Mega Man. Jotaro. Very good choices. Although my problem is that I was about to say Sailor Neptune. Well, I mean, this applies to Sailor Neptune as well. Sailor Neptune, her skin isn't blue. Her hair is blue. She's associated with the color blue. But she's not blue per se. Alright, so we're going to go into the castle corridor. Let's see. Oh god. The hentai guy is here. Hello. I believe I recognize you from one of Mr. Top 10 list videos, and you've made some interesting conversations on a few places, and I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Somebody in my Discord is asking me how much longer do you plan on playing this game. I could go the next 70 minutes. We'll see. I might take my usual 10-minute break soon. So I'm getting thirsty. And then Mr. Top 10 List says the inevitable reference to the song Blue. That was popular for exactly one weekend. Max Rebo from Star Wars. Cool. Okay, this is the place here. Equip. To get to the Flying Gardens. Equip. Let's try again. It's very tricky. I mean, it's... I don't know if I can do it. It's an exploit where you can change Soma's jump physics so that you get a little bit higher. Mr. Top 10 List says it was on one of those Now CDs. It was popular for multiple weekends. I seem to remember it being popular for one weekend. And I remember that video played on the Disney Channel, which I watched at the time for some reason, and got it got that Blue song a lot of publicity. By the way, guys, thanks for watching me instead of watching the Astros game, and I feel like a traitor for saying that, but I'm told that they're winning. I hope they're still winning, but unfortunately, their game couldn't have come at a worse time for me. The ocean skin from Minecraft. So I don't remember if anybody heard what I was saying earlier. Do you want me to stop at the next save point and try a different game mode in Aria of Sorrow? Or do you want me to keep exploring? Diego says, I remember when Iron Man 3 used the blue music. Yes, that in Y2K is how you know you're magically transported to 1999. I feel like that song is very much locked into that year. Those were much more innocent times. I'm not sure what people think, but I really enjoyed Iron Man 3. I feel like some people kind of run that movie under the bus, but I really enjoyed it. I can't pick up the potion because I had 9 in my inventory. Now I can pick it up. Alright, let's change weapons here. I'm gonna get the ice sword out. Or I'm gonna get the poison sword out, because I don't get to use it very much. Love the way it looks. Somebody dropped out. Oh, sorry to hear that. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And not Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I think I already went to this room. No, I'm starting to feel a little lost now. Well, which is funny because I have a map. we can get up here now. Cool. Thomas the Tank Engine. I was a huge fan of Thomas when I was a kid. I wish I still had those toys. Actually, I saw the recent Thomas, and was it on PBS or Nick Jr.? I'm not sure. This didn't appeal to me. Well, you know, actually, when I look back on Thomas, I think it looks really creepy these days, frankly. I also don't recognize any of the trains they have. Kamen Rider Cross Z is blue. Considering that I like tokusatsu in general, you think I'd be on top of Kamen Rider, but I haven't. I like the one they aired in the US like 10 years ago. What was it? Dragon Rider? That was kind of neat. That was neat to make a Power Rangers clone show in this day and age. Truth be told, guys, I've been watching quite a bit of Power Rangers on Netflix, and it's just a hoot and a holler. I think it's fun. Let's see if we can get up there. Slash. Okay, we can get up there. Uncle Waluigi asked, do you know that Thomas the Tank Engine counts as tokusatsu? Never took that into consideration. Interesting, interesting. So I can't get up there. What am I missing? I think there's an area to the right I can get up to now. Uncle Waluigi says, I was baffled at first too. But why would it be tokusatsu? I don't understand. Okay, have not gone this way yet. I think there's a hidden passage here somewhere. Blue Man Group. That's another good one. Uncle Waluigi said, you remember how the original Thomas the Tank Engine was live action with toys? Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Top 10 List says that he likes how Soma runs through the water as a swimming animation. Soma can, with certain soul power, he can sink and he can also walk on water. Marth from Fire Emblem. That's a bit of a stretch. Okay, I can go up here now. Power up. Let me increase my luck with the Ghost Dancer. Where's that? Diego says that Thomas all this. I guess you're trying to say all this talk about Thomas the Tank Engine is fascinating and weird. Yeah, I had some of the storybooks. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. This was a really long time ago. I don't think I have the toys anymore either. I think I donated them. But I had some of the books on tape. And they had an edited version that used to be on PBS called Shining Time Station with George Carlin. Uncle Waluigi says that tokusatsu translates to special effects and the toys are effects, so it's technically tokusatsu. I don't know. Tokusatsu, my understanding is that it refers to superhero fiction where the main draw of the show is that the main character, it's a live action show and he uses special effects to show that the characters transform into their superhero alter ego, and that's the appeal of the show. That's my understanding. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Mr. Top 10 List says that one time in high school he saw an AMV of the song Blue using Beta of the Ginyu Force. Pardon me. Juan says Lucina. There's my impression of Xander Mobius on the unlikely but possibly possible chance he might be watching it. Lucina. Uncle Waluigi says that's what I described as a subgenre of tokusatsu. Tokusatsu is actually kind of confusing when I think about it. You think that's bad? I'm actually kind of confused about where I need to go. I have a feeling I'm supposed to be up here, but I'm not sure how to get any higher. Considering that I've done 2 runs of this game recently, you'd think I would know, but I don't. So let's try. Maybe I need to ascend a bit higher on the right. If not, I might just save and stop because I think I've actually covered about a fifth of this game, if I'm not mistaken. Don't pay attention to the percentage there because that's what I have of my previous file. Let's try over here. See where I get. Because I think this part's all connected. Actually, it's not. Okay, then if I miss this, I think I need the uppercut move to get all the way up there. Uncle Waluigi's got to go to bed. Sorry you can't catch the next hour. I might be on Thursday. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Actually, you know, I think I'm gonna reset now, and I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll do boss rush mode when I get back. Juan suggests top 10 420 characters. I don't know if Mr. Top 10 List will do that. We'll see. I'm back. Pretty much when I expected I would be. Hopefully I didn't lose half my audience. Looks like just one dropout. Let me turn my controller back on so the screen isn't good at screen burn reduction again. Excuse me. Oh, goddamn hiccups. Okay. So, sampled about 1/5 of the game. I'm gonna do boss rush mode now. Let's see how far I get. Let's get a more powerful weapon. I think 2 hits and bam. Nope. Okay. 4 hits. Poison. Ugh. I'm already taking a lot of damage here. This is pretty ugly. Okay, down goes the Manticore. Poison will not kill you, but it will put you in a perilous position. I love alliteration. Also, I see him behind in chat. Let me beat the Great Armor first. Down goes the Great Armor. If anybody can hear me, looks like sync got lost. Don't tell me I lost the stream. If anybody's there, can you leave a message? It looks like things got lost. That's not good. I'm seeing a bunch of corruption here. Not corruption, bottlenecking. Okay, now things are caught up in chat. I'm seeing messages. If you're there, please post something. Oh crap, that sucks. Okay, sorry, it looks like my hardware froze or software froze or something. Okay, it's refreshing. Let's see what people have to say. Alright, it's still loading up the chat, so just hang on. Alright, what the hell is going on here? Alright, YouTube. Oh, excuse me. That picture's on the game over screen. If anybody can hear this, I just Oh, this is the big golem, I believe. Yeah, that's what it's called. Let's see. Somebody, I'm barely seeing any messages here. Somebody said something about top 10 hello. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Excuse me. Really try to get away from the microphone when I do that, but can't make it perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry. The stream went down. It seems. I'll try to catch up on chat as soon as the damn thing just refreshes. Yeah, luckily there was a combination with the YouTube page and my recording software. Discord asks, why are you streaming this game? Because it's my favorite Castlevania game on Game Boy Advance. Why wouldn't I play a game that I don't like? That doesn't make much sense. Let's see. Mr. Top 10 List says something to Diego about answering a question. That was very good of you. I like how you interact with your fans. I was going to say friends. I like how you interact with your fans and your friends, Mr. Top 10 List. Hentai person says top 10 Castlevania characters who are naked, lol. The Wolfman's one I can think of. And the Succubus. So there's 2. I don't know if I could give you a full 10. Juan says top 10 hello. I don't know what that means. I could really use a healing item now. Spoiled milk. What will that do? That will reduce my HP to 1. So, tasty meat. Okay. That's the end of the headhunter. So, hopefully I didn't waste that. Top 10 yellow characters like Pikachu from Pokemon Yellow. This is the battle with death is going to be very tough because I don't have a slide. It's going to make it very hard to evade him. I'm going to need the Witch Soul, which will deflect his bullets. Very useful. There's Death's first form. And that's game over, unfortunately. So I got roughly halfway through. Oh well. So the other mode I want to show off, since we're starting to wind down here, the game mode you unlock once you clear the game for your first run is Julius mode, where you get to play as Julius Belmont. And Julius mode is interesting because Julius doesn't level up, and he's very powerful, but he's not invincible. He also doesn't have any cutscenes or story stuff. So that means right out of the gate you can do this, which is a power you get very late in the game. The I want to call it uppercut super jump. Excuse me. That's a bit bonkers. Also, there's no money because there's no item shop. So Julius starts at 800 HP. You also can't pause. You don't have a sub menu. So the only way to pause is to use the map. And his sub weapons, he's got the Cross Mega Crush, the Cross Boomerang, Holy Water. Once I do it there. Hatchet. And that's about it. That's all he needs. He's also got the whip, too. Kind of like Castlevania 4. But not nearly as good. If I could show off the flailing, yeah. Let's just go up here. I can't warp to the other part of the map because I haven't unlocked the warp rooms. But we'll see what's over here. So it makes Julius mode is it's kind of broken, but it's also balanced. This is one thing I definitely wanted to show off tonight. There's the Mega Crush. See, somebody sent me a message in Discord. Will you stream Mortal Kombat on Halloween? Probably not, because I'm not a huge fan of the series. But somebody here possibly might, because they're a much bigger fan than me. I can't make any promises, though. I probably should stop talking on that front. Anyway, I'm gonna lean against it heavily. So yeah, no experience, no leveling up. You just start off with really good, kind of broken stats early on, but then the game's gonna get tougher. Or you could go to later parts in the game pretty quickly. Like, maybe we can do that part that was evading me earlier. Julius's backdash is also kind of nuts, too. Not as good as Alucard in Symphony, but then again, what is? There we go. Juan says, when you know the way, I'm not sure what that means. What is the context? No, I meant to do that lower. That was foolish. Okay, let's just do this. That works better. And then there's no items. I don't know why I went here ultimately. No armor, no other weapons. Just what Julius brought into the castle, I guess, because that's the kind of guy he is. You can restore your magic power in save rooms, but there's no healing items. So really, killing enemies is all about self-defense at this point. Not about grinding for experience or certain souls. I'm just trying to get the hell away from that man-eater. He's a man-eater. Excuse me. I don't need to go over there ultimately. And if you're into speedruns, you should check out some runs of Julius mode. Preferably the non-emulated ones, because those are more legit. They're pretty nutty. I'll say that much. That dead Crusader enemy is a real bastard. It's a little tricky to exploit his weak point. Because when he's blocking, he doesn't take any damage. Doesn't matter what position. No damage whatsoever. I believe there's a save room over here. Yes. Just gonna heal. Not gonna save yet. I'm gonna be a bit reckless. Hey, there's a character who's green, the giant worm. Juan said something about Nightmare Blue. I'm lost here, man. And I think Julius can go to most of the map except for the real final area of the game, because he has a different ending. I believe, if I remember correctly. Haven't done this in many years, so please forgive me. Any observations from you guys about this game mode? I was hoping you'd find some appeal in it. But I was saving this for my B show, that being said. He is green, giant worm. He sure is. And there's a Dryad. One of the very few in the game. I think they're only in this room. Oh! Damn it. Shit, that's awful. Don't underestimate the Dryad, Jesus. That's it. I had to start that all over. Damn. Damn, I got cocky there. I love Julius's theme song, by the way. What has Julia mode? Julia? There is no Julia mode, sadly. Richter is an unlockable playable character in Portrait of Ruin, though. And I believe Simon is a secret character in Dawn of Sorrow, which is this game's sequel on DS. Let's see, somebody is asking me who has time for failed upload. No, spam, not gonna read it. Sorry. Don't spam, please. If you're gonna advertise something, advertise your YouTube channel. Somebody in the comments section might find it, although you can't post URLs. You could say, hey, could you check me out if it's relevant to the conversation. If not, then you're just advertising for the hell of it, and I don't appreciate that. Juan says, can you play Lollipop? There is no Castlevania character named Lollipop, darn it. So no. 25 more minutes, guys. I dashed the wrong way. There we go. Also, Julius can't be inflicted by stats because there's no way to heal them. He can't be cursed or poisoned in this his mode. So the stone beam does not hurt me. Juan says, game good. Yes. This game good. I should stop trying to uppercut that guy. But yeah, it's just a sly little devil. I was going to call him a bastard, but I probably use that word too much. Just something about him. Really smug looking, really needs to be uppercutted. Top 10 orange characters. Kel Mitchell. I don't know about you guys, but I just noticed that the temperature dropped right now in this area that I'm in. I'm starting to feel a little bit cold. The spikes will do a shit ton of damage. You gotta be careful. Mars did red. Yes, Sailor Mars did that, alright. And that's game over. Well, I think I might possibly wrap up Castlevania now. Conversation seems to be dying. Unless you want me to do anything else on my Wii U, what would you guys like? Would you like to end it here, or would you like me to play something else on Wii U for the next 20 minutes? So we're down to 3 people. What'd you remaining people like? Who wants to play Super Smash Brothers? Right now, I can only play games that I have on my Wii U's internal storage. I can't play anything physical. So if there's anything on my internal storage you want me to play, let me. I'll do it for 20 minutes. What the hell? Let's see what's here. I'll go over them. Let's start at the beginning. Metroid, Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, F-Zero, Contra 3, Mega Man X, Super Metroid Earthbound. No RPGs for the moment. WarioWare, Kirby the Amazing Mirror, Metroid Fusion, Super Mario Advance 3, Mega Man 7, Shovel Knight, Mega Man X3, Kirby Return to Dreamland, Ice Climber, Clue Land, Castlevania, original Castlevania, Fatal Frame 4, Super Mario Advance 4, Mega Man 6, Super Mario Brothers, The Lost Levels, Mario Tennis, Castlevania 3. I got a request for WarioWare. Somebody in Discord wants WarioWare. Okay, we got 2 votes for WarioWare. I'll keep going through, just in case you guys change your mind. Demon's Crest, Mario Pinball Land, Rocky and Pocky with Becky, aka Kiki Kakai Advance, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Castlevania 2, Super Mario Advance, Drill Dozer, Konami Crazy Racers, Mega Man Zero, Castlevania Aria Sorrow, Harmony of Dissonance, Advance Wars, Mega Man X2, Car Battler Joe, Dr. Mario, Minish Cap, Golden Sun 2, no RPGs, Salamander, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Yeah, I think we'll go with WarioWare. That's a good game for a goof and a giggle. It's fun but not terribly deep. I think it's a good way to wrap up the action. So yeah, it seems pretty good. And I guess I'm kind of a whore for Virtual Console, but I do really like to support official releases, even if they are emulated. So I'll just start a new file. Options. Actually, no. This is Sam's file. Let me change my profile. Sam would not like that. He called himself Hulk. I think I'm locked out of my account. Nah, I can't. Okay, I'll use my mom's account because she's only used it twice. So I'm basically impersonating my mom here. Hi, Mom. I hope you're not watching this. She's asleep right now. Okay, where's WarioWare? And I need to get this better organized. This is a mess. I used to have these arranged in chronological order, and I mean it's just terrible now. Okay, I think it's by I don't know if it's by file size or download date. Where is WarioWare? Where is it? There we go. Juan says play 9V. I have to unlock 9V if I'm starting a new file. I don't want to mess with my brother's file. But this game flies by. So we will get to 9V before I'm done with the stream, if you really want 9V. Also, I need to update the video title so people don't come to the video and say, hey, this is a funny version of Castlevania. What should I call myself? What would you guys like me to call this file? As long as it's not, let's keep it under PG-13, please. Mr. Top 10 List says I still have Earthbound as the game set. I thought I changed it. Yeah, I'm playing WarioWare. It's got to be short. It's got to be a few characters. Zippy. I'm taking it. Zippy. All caps. Perfect. Fits perfectly. And I'll be a min, even though I'm using my mom's account. Diamond City 2000X. I don't think I can skip the cutscenes, but yeah, basically Wario, he realizes that video games are making money. He decides to create his own and sucker his friends into making games for him. It's very weird. The premise of the game is odd, and it doesn't matter because this game is very arcade-like and random and weird. It's both reactionary and based on memory. And there's some nice Nintendo tributes too. But when this game was being advertised and hyped up in Nintendo Power, I thought it looked really dumb. But this game grew on me, and it's a lot of fun. And I think this is the most accessible version of WarioWare, honestly. I really didn't care for the DS one. And I mean, you know, twisted, you gotta twist your Game Boy Advance around. That's ridiculous. The Wii one, Smooth Moves, is pretty cool. Alright, don't get run over by the truck, the balls. And then he just gives up. I love how Wario is in all of his games. He's such an egotist. Wario is one of the most fascinating Nintendo characters because he's such a shameless egotist. He helps other people, but inadvertently, and that's interesting. And Wario's stage is cleared. This game can be completed in probably about an hour. It just zooms by. And I never understood what's the deal with this potato. Right, somebody in my Discord is saying that the stream looks choppy. I don't know what to tell you. The stream will not be going on much longer. I'm sorry if it looks choppy. So next is Jimmy, then 9 Volt. What are people's memories or experiences with the original WarioWare? Those samples right there from Wario Land 4. A lot of this game's music and sound set is it's just lifted from Wario Land 4. Crap. Somebody, the stream is refreshing, but I think it's Diego. Says it took him by surprise that WarioWare Gold had voice acting. I heard it was pretty good. Juan says, "Who is the girl next door?" Finish the lyrics. Who is the cat with the beak? Do you really want to feel him? Habeas corpus, power of attorney. Habeas corpus. Is this Harvey or Marvey attorney? Harvey attorney. There, I finished the lyrics. And I finished the marathon, too. One thing I've always liked, and that transitions to the special tonight, yes, I'm all about that Adult Swim stealth advertising. And thankfully I got that recorded. Because honestly, I'm probably going to go to sleep after this stream. This weekend kicked my hiney. Juan says that he's referring to I Look at Ashlyn. I don't know who that is. I've never met an Ashlyn in my entire life. And this game is a nice tribute to Punch-Out, even before we get to the Nintendo stages. And I've always thought this boxer looked like Blasternaut from Math Blaster, if you're old enough to understand that reference. If you are, you're pretty amazing. Actually, most people who watch my channel are amazing. Okay, it's not my channel, but you get the idea. Jimmy is like the Nintendo version of Disco Stew from The Simpsons. So the text message that he needed to get was a dog. You know, I miss flip phones. I don't care that society considers them outdated. I think it's a good design. And I don't like the iPhone design at all. The one that caught on and made every phone a the one that made every smartphone an iPhone. I don't like it. Maybe that makes me a grandpa. I don't care. I've always been meaning to get a second cell phone to be a flip phone for personal emergencies. Kind of like Breaking Bad. Okay, here's 9-volt. I wonder if 9-volt has more Nintendo import games than me. He's a really big Nintendo fan. Yeah. Oh, Juan was talking about Ashley's theme. Who's the girl next door living in the haunted mansion? Diego says he probably has. He probably has more Nintendo import games than me. I've always liked this part. I don't get it. But I like it. Well, he's got a Super Scope, so he's got one up on me. And he's got 6 GameCubes. His probably actually work, too. Balloon fight, yeah. I like how... Excuse me. If you listen carefully, the music, when the old games come up, it's all corrupted. Like, the F-Zero theme is too fast. The Metroid music's too fast. Either the pitch is off, or the music, the tempo's too fast. It's very funny. And the interstitial screen is a reference to Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest. Which is not a Nintendo game, but Nintendo of America published it, so it kind of is. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Stack Up, for those who don't get that reference. And then that's a toy that Nintendo made only in Japan. I thought it was neat that some of these I didn't recognize, and I learned a little bit more about Nintendo's history because of this when I would research them. And I think that was Color Game 17, which was a Japan-only release. Very similar to like something from Atari. Mario Clash, not something people are going to get immediately. Draw. If only Mother Brain blew up that easily. And then the boss fight is a toy Nintendo made, I think in the 60s? I could be wrong. Japan only. I think it's called Ultra Machine. So it's not entirely random. These sound effects are all reused from a minigame from Wario Land 4. Which was also baseball related. Crap. Crap, gotta get one more. Nope. Damn. Let's try again. Did anybody learn anything from these 9-volt games? Was it just me? I hope somebody learned something. They're very educational. Two more, one more. Better, much better. Good game over, not bad game over. Game over in my favor. So 9-volt must be loaded, and he must be, I just kind of imagine after he comes home from school, he does nothing but play Nintendo games, and just a very irresponsible student. That's what I get. Excuse me. Alright, well, things seem to be quieting down here. I unlocked Cherry Tori, which is a vacuum toy Nintendo made in Japan. I think this is going to be it for me. Unfortunately, I'm starting to lose my voice again. I feel a lot better from Thursday. That was bad. But I'm pretty tired and worn out from today. So I think that's going to be it. Gonna try to do Resident Evil 3 next Thursday. As almost always, I had fun. Sucks that I died badly in Julius mode in Castlevania, but hopefully I give you guys a nice glimpse of the game. So Thursday, Resident Evil 3. Hopefully I can make some progress. That game's pretty tense for me. I might have to practice a little bit before I stream, but thanks for coming by and hanging out. Before you leave, please remember to hit the like button, please. Really appreciate it. It makes the videos easier to find in suggestions. Once you get likes coming up, people watch them apparently. I don't know. YouTube's algorithm is arcane and confusing. But yeah, remember to like, if you aren't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Possibly share them around, I don't know. And I think that's just a good point to close out on. Yeah, I hope to see you Thursday. I'll try to start as close to 7:30 as possible. Maybe 7:45. We'll see how it happens. But my routine is not 100% set in stone. But good hanging out with y'all, and good night.